Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Creators on the Crest. I'm Stephanie, and this is your June monthly reading. Today we will be doing a yummy and fun Celtic cross spread, and I'm going to close off the reading with a card from the Herbcrafters Tarot for the Cancerian Collective. Do keep in mind these are general readings, so take only what resonates. If you want more texture and context, be sure to check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, and North Node readings. That will help fill in some of the gaps. Okay, and if you're interested in a personal reading, I will have links in the description below, along with links to social media, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Creators on the Crest. Okay, Cancer, let's get started. I'm going to pull this spread, so just tuning into your greater being. You're already talking to me here. Okay. Okay, Cancer. One moment. Okay, Cancer. Wow, what a spread. Starting off with the current energy, you have the High Priestess. That's the energy that you're in. It's very receptive. It is very open to wisdom, to your greater being. And the challenge card presenting against it is the Chariot, which is the card of Cancer. So I'm wondering here if you aren't getting to know yourself on a whole new level, maybe some new and different aspects of yourself. Feels very much like a transition. Some of you may have just come out of Saturn returns, for example, or, just a phase of your life, a phase of a relationship, something like that, that has really challenged who you are or challenged your growth in some way. In your focus area, you get the Ten of Wands, definitely carrying some sort of burdens, maybe not all yours, that might need to be laid down. So maybe you're making something harder than it really is, perhaps, or you're just taking on more than is your share to take on, or you're biting off more than you can chew. We will get clarifiers to see. In the past, you get the Four of Pentacles. Yeah. So this would be the energy you're leaving behind, where maybe money is tight, finances are a little on the tight side, maybe, just trying to do the best with what little you have. It's nice that this is showing up in the past. Hopefully we'll see some movement forward in the future for you. In your strength position, you get the Eight of Cups. Yeah. This is you setting your sights on the greater aspects of what I would call of love, the greater wisdom behind what you will do and won't do in the name of love. So, you're recognizing that you can have love for things or love for someone, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be with them or stay with them if there's certain aspects or other angles that aren't working out for you. You will acknowledge the love, but you also can move on into the greater aspects of love for yourself. It feels like a very personal journey going on here that is strengthening you and emboldening you. In your future energy, you get the King of Swords, extremely headstrong, very focused, very determined, of lots of communication, lots of standing strong in what you are communicating, how you are communicating, who you are communicating with. A lot of communication, I feel, coming up in the future. So get ready for that, Cancer, if you're not already. In the advice and support section, you get the Hanged Man. And I love this here because this is you being able to maybe relax a little into some of your creativity and see what blossoms from there. So you have maybe been on the path of, study and making decisions and things like that. And now you get to kind of relax into your creativity, but we'll clarify with that in a little bit. In your environment, you get the 9 of Wands. You're definitely standing your ground in your current environment. You're definitely holding strong to your position. I really like that. You are maybe drawing a line in the sand. Maybe you have some boundaries that you're setting up that you're insisting be honored. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes as Cancerian energy, we do tend to be very nurturing of others and at the risk of not having the proper boundaries. So I like seeing that in your environment. In your hopes and fears, the Empress, you know, really wondering, will what I create be fruitful? Will it bear fruit? Will I be able to hold all of this? You know, and at the same time, hoping for that great fulfillment and that great abundance to come in and fall at your feet for you to actually like call in that beauty and abundance. And in your potential outcome, you get the Ace of Wands. This is a strong, powerful, passionate movement forward. Very, very fiery, very transformative, and kind of representative of a new cycle. So we'll have to see how you're kind of working through this here. Let's clarify the High Priestess that you got in your energies. Remember, she guards the gate to the Garden of Eden. And let's see. You get the Queen of Wands and the Ten of Swords. This very much, with the Queen of Wands coming in with the High Priestess, this very much gives me a feeling of fiery strength, but also surrender. And I think this is surrendering, you surrendering to your strength. Because with this Ten of Swords coming in, you're well aware now what brings you down. You're well aware what shuts you down, and you're not going to put up with that anymore. But you're not going to put up with it by avoiding it or by hiding in your shell and scurrying away. You're going to deal with it through your surrender to your higher wisdom, to your greater being, and your ability to hold that transformative space for yourself and for others, and knowing who you'll hold it for and who you won't. Boundaries are coming up again, Cancer, for you for the month of June. Proper boundaries. So your challenge is you, the Chariot here. Maybe it's getting momentum with this. Maybe that's a bit of a challenge here. Let's clarify this Chariot here. Maybe you're having a bit of a challenge kind of gaining momentum. Yeah, the Two of Wands and the Six of Swords. This is, you are moving the right direction with the Six of Swords. You are moving yourself to calmer waters, and you're well aware that when you have good boundaries in place, and this can be in relationships, this can be with your children, this can be in your work environment. When you have those good boundaries in place, you do get to be in that High Priestess, Queen of Wands energy. You do get to relax into that. It is calmer sailing for you. Sometimes I think you hesitate, however, to really, maybe even if you're setting the boundary, this might be a hesitation to uphold it properly for yourself. And so that I think you are taking a look at, and you know this is part of your challenge. You know this is part of your challenge. It seems to me for some of you, you have a bit of a weak spot with someone or something. So be willing to take a look at that, because it will sneak up. And it could be factoring into what you need to focus on. It could be factoring into why you're carrying like this overburden. Yeah, you get the Justice card and the Seven of Swords. It's time for you to lighten your load. You need to kind of make like an elf and just kind of lightly scamper away from these burdens that you're carrying here. And it hasn't been fair. You've been taking on more than your share for sure with the Justice card coming up here. You've been, and this could be financially, this could be in just keeping up, you know, on things around the house. It could be in your workplace. You're taking on more work than other people, and you're not getting rewarded for it. And it's time for you to take your leave from these kinds of energies, because those burdens are just going to weigh you down. Like it's not balanced. It's too heavy, and you deserve to be in those lighter energies, Cancer. For some of you, you may be carrying other people's emotional energy, and you might need to do some sort of cleanse, like energetic cleanse, or maybe look into some sort of energy work for yourself to clear out what you've been picking up for other people. Let's look at the Four of Pentacles in the past, what you're leaving behind. The Four of Pentacles is clarified by you, Cancer, the Chariot, again, showing up in your own reading, and the Hanged Man, which you have over here in the advice and support. But I feel like these are different hangmans here. The Hangman from your past is, and again, this has to do with your ability to receive, to open up and to receive, to dissolve the hard outer shell so that the softer you can be seen, can be respected, can be rewarded. Okay, and I know that's hard because you have this issue with boundaries and with protection and, you know, taking on more than you should. But this is what you're also being encouraged to leave behind. And it's tied up somehow, probably subconsciously, to your ability to call in wealth for yourself, wealth and abundance. It's caused you to Yeah, I don't know if it's caused something. It has maybe slowed your expansive soul. It has slowed your soul's desire to expand into more wealth, abundance, and resources. And so this Hanged Man in the past, it's the thoughts and emotions that keep you stuck. And keep you from taking the risks and from staying the course, even when things aren't as fruitful as you want them to be. This is very interesting. Also, it feels directly connected to your ability to set these boundaries, because how can you focus on this? How can you move on and leave behind mentality where there's like not enough and there's lack when you don't have the proper boundaries to protect yourself? It could be someone around you is having that effect on you. Could be a parent, could be a loved one, partner who's, you know, having that they don't, their energies are such, but that they don't help you to move out of this. They might try to be encouraging, but if you're not in that open space of receptivity, if you're closed off, and this feels very like, oh, Cancer in their shell, all hiding away from this, don't want to deal with this, somebody else take care of this. That's the kind of feeling I get. That's what you're trying to leave behind, though. You are bringing you to the table with this. You're calling yourself to the wrestling mat here to take care of this. In the strength that you have, which is the Eight of Cups, which is you're going to have the boundaries. You're not going to just do anything in the name of love. If it doesn't align with who you are, you get the Ace of Swords in the Tower. Yes, if you're not in the alignment of this Ace of Swords, if it doesn't seem good to you and you're just like something's off, whether it's your intuition or even your mind is just like something isn't adding up here, something's off, you're going to turn away from it because you can't keep putting your energy into burdens that are not yours. This may be you having to take a stand at work. You may be getting ready to say something to your boss. Okay, for some of you, you may have to address something with a coworker or a boss that is quite difficult, but you're getting ready to do it because you know if you don't address it, everything's gonna kind of blow up. It's kind of like the opportunity to take care of it before it gets really bad. The universe has kind of been breathing down your neck with this. Could be something you need to express to your romantic partner. Maybe it's a boundary that you are needing to communicate. Now remember, in your future energies, King of Swords, I got lots of communication coming out here, the King of Swords. So let's see what we get to clarify that. Yes, when you communicate your boundaries, the King of Swords gets clarified by the Ace of Cups and the King of Swords again. When you are communicating and clearly stating your boundaries, and then you're maintaining them, and you are holding your ground whenever they are challenged, it allows you to fill your own cup, Cancer. And that's where you can be more of yourself. That's where you move out of these mentalities that keep you a bit locked down when it comes to calling in the resources you want. It's directly connected to your cup being full, to you not being overburdened, to you being treated fairly and respectfully. And for some of you, this work situation that you've got going on, it's not healthy, and you know it's not healthy. It's not only not healthy for you, it's not healthy for anybody involved, and it needs addressing. And I see you're going to do it. I see you're going to do it one way or another. There's a double King of Swords here. I got a lot of communication flowing out of this card. And so this is critically important that you communicate. If it's a work boundary, something that needs to be addressed with a boss, a coworker, something that needs to be addressed with a family member, something that needs to be addressed with your partner. Very, very important in the month of June that you work on this. Okay, you have this other Hanged Man in the advice and support, and I feel that this Hanged Man is different than kind of the Hanged Man energy you had in your past. This feels... whereas in the past, you were kind of having to like feel like you had to hold on to things and you were very closed off. This Hanged Man, instead of having the arms behind the back, his arms are opening. He's letting go. So it's time for you to let go of the, yeah. Okay, so Cancer, this is clarified by the Nine of Swords and the Six of Cups. It's time for you to let go of whatever happened to you when you were a child, okay? And this may have to do with you not being respected properly. Someone made you feel bad. Someone put you down. You didn't stick up for yourself. You didn't have the proper boundaries with this person. Or maybe you were unable to because you were a child and they were an adult. And, you know, somebody overstepped here and you're working on letting this go. For some of you, this could be a quite neglectful or abusive type of energy, and you may be actively working on it. If you're not, you are being advised to get support for this. I do see it as a child, you being a child, and you being the nurturing and caring and sensitive child that you were, trying to give to the situation, but from a place of more naivety. And when you gave too much. And then all of a sudden you were burdened and you were stuck and your energies were all tied up and they're not open and they're not flowing and you're feeling sad. And that can have a real impact on the child. So there may be some inner child healing going on here that you are working through and working on. If you're not actively working on that, maybe just scan your energies to see if there's anything lurking or lingering there. Because to me, it seems like the more now as an adult that you use your voice, that you communicate, that you set your boundaries, you maintain your boundaries, you execute those boundaries with authority and with all of the knowledge and wisdom that you now hold, that is what keeps you full. And so it would be absolutely natural for someone to have gone through something as a child and struggle with this a bit. So give yourself a little grace in this and get support. Get support on this. I don't know if there needs to be like a little hypnotic regression or a little bit of something somatic that you can work on finding where you have been holding on to that in your body, or for some of you going back and taking a little journey back to the age you were when this crap went down and you were just trying to be a loving human. That's what I see. Cancer, the loving human. why? And this innocence of like, but we're all supposed to be a loving human. It's sad, Cancer. I feel it, because you've got such a sensitive heart, such a loving heart. And in your innocence and in your nescience as a child, you just, of course, you tried to put love towards a situation that might have even been hurting you. Of course you did, especially if it was a parent or a trusted adult in your life, or seemingly someone you could trust. You're standing your ground, though. In your current environment, you've got this 9 of Wands, and it's clarified by the 2 of Cups and the Sun. I feel like in your current environment, you do have some partnership here that's supporting this. So this could be a friend, a really trusted friend, or a group of friends that is really supporting you. It could be, if you're dealing with a work situation and this inner child healing is coming up, because sometimes these things, even though they're in different experiences, they can be reflections and they can trigger from the past. The adult person in your workplace you could be dealing with could be a lot like, there could be like, let's say there's narcissistic tendencies that show up in your boss that were in your mother or father, right? And so those are being reflected. Right? And that's what's happening. But in your environment, you have some beautiful partnership that brings you happiness. So be sure to focus on the partnerships that you do have in your current environment that are bringing you happiness. And they are the ones that are encouraging you, your cheerleaders that are cheering you on. Stand your ground. Speak your truth, Cancer. Stand your ground. Let's do this. I'm here with you. Your happiness is on the line, and I'm here to see you happy, right? This is the loving human, Cancer, that you've attracted into your environment to help you through this. All right, let's look at your hopes and fears with this Empress here. You get the Strength card and the Empress. Cancer, you're the first sign that I've done, and I'm about halfway through, that keeps getting double cards. I mean, you're not the very first, but these are significant that you're getting. You had the double King of Swords, the double Empress here. It's like you have this fear, and I think it's all connected in here. As you're going to work through this issue, you're going to release this fear that all that you put in won't bring you to fruition. You could have put in a great number of long years at maybe the job you're in where you're struggling and you're trying to bring something to light. This could even be, for some of you, a bigger issue, like some sort of thing that could result in a legal matter, right? Because you do have the Justice card down here in your focus. So you could even be up against that kind of pressure where it's like, oh, I might have to get a lawyer for this, right? And so the fear trickles in of like, can I hold all this? How am I going to hold it all together? How do I let everything that needs to come? How do I be in this, how do I exist in this garden while I'm dealing with all this? But you got the Strength card, and that's Leo energy. Maybe one of these partnerships here, because you got the Sun, which also makes me think of Leo, because that big, bright lion heart sun. And I'm getting emotional. I can feel like if this person isn't a Leo, they have something in their chart that's bringing forward some sort of really loving energy that reflects to you, and you're like, oh, they could be a reflector, a human design reflector type, which they hold very unique energy. And so they're helping you, and your strength is being enhanced by this energy so that you can embody the Empress, so that you can enjoy the fertility and the abundance and the fruitfulness of the garden that you are actually in. And it's the garden of you. It's the garden that you've created. It's what you are able to bring to the world through being a Cancerian. It's the loving human. It's you, the loving human, who just knows how to exist as love. And who also now knows how to exist through love, and healthy, solid boundaries. Cool. Cool. Because Cancer, sometimes, you know, water signs, Cancerians, they have a little trouble with this. They have a little trouble with boundaries because they are, you know, just naturally just so sensitive and loving, and they can often blame themselves. But I think you've done the work here. Double King of Swords doesn't show up for some weak person, right? Does not show up for a weak person. In the potential outcome, clarifying the Ace of Wands. This is a brand new, passionate beginning. We have the Three of Swords. So we do have a little heartache, heartbreak, heart healing that will need to be acknowledged. But we have the Six of Wands. We have a celebration. We have a success. We have a victory coming in. So I really like this because it is acknowledging you, Cancer, for and acknowledging the childhood you for any pain that you might have endured that was not fair to you. That was not okay. I mean, I'm feeling it. I'm on the verge of crying here. I can feel this for you, whatever it was. And looking at how things might unfold in June, it's okay for you to feel it, cry it out. Come to this person, it could be a Leo, I said, but it could just be, you know, somebody that reflects to you who you truly are, someone in which you can see your true reflection, and they're encouraging you. They are your cheerleader. Come in, cry to them. Let them hold you. Let them be there for you. Part of standing your ground is processing your emotions. Part of your personal authority, part of the High Priestess is her vulnerability to these emotions. So this Three of Swords, I feel like you are emotionally mature enough to know how to handle this. Just cry when you need to cry. And celebrate when you need to celebrate. Powerful, powerful, deep. Cancer, let's pull a card for the Cancerian Collective from the Herbcrafter's Hero to close out the reading. This one. Cancer, you got the Three of Earth, a raspberry. Company brings joy to hard work. You have a responsibility to tend to the abundance you have been given. There is much to do with the fruitful raspberry, jellies, pies, syrups, vinegars, baskets, and medicine. Teamwork multiplies productivity. Invite others to join you. Trust your leadership and your organizing skills. Approach people with clear expectations, boundaries, and agreements. At first year, raspberry canes create the foundation for second year canes to fruit. Create value for the generations to come. Together with your community, you can build a strong legacy. Cancer, really beautiful energy of the raspberry coming in. I love the depth of the redness and the fruitful. I love the baskets being shown here. This is an earth energy, so I feel like it's something you're going to be grounding in now that you're moving through this great process, this beautiful, powerful healing that's impacting more than one area of your life here. If I had to say the most helpful words to you, I think what I can say is stay empowered, stay encouraged, and know without a shadow of a doubt that you absolutely deserve the best in life, and you're making it happen. Cancer, thank you so much for joining. I can't wait to see you next time.